Pickle fish lips.
Fish wipes. Fish wipes. All right, welcome everybody. Shut up, Malcolm. Anyways, welcome to the Where is Dion podcast. We're back to do the recap for Power Rangers Season 1, Episode 5 to 10. As always, I am Humanoid along with my partner in crime, the Dwaif Master himself. Say hi.
Hi, yeah, sorry, I had AJ Styles on the mind.
Everybody has AJ Styles on their mind. And we have a special guest today. He's a newbie to this all. He's just started watching Power Rangers, so he's an outside perspective. He is Dead Shrew.
Hi, it's me, Mighty Morphin Michael Vick.
Mighty Morphin Michael Vick. Jesus. All right. Yeah, he's coming in hot. He's coming in brand new to this series. He has some thoughts about it.
Relatively new.
Yeah.
I mean, I do have thoughts about it.
He's more of a Sentai fan.
Yes. Sorry to interrupt, but yeah, you are more of a Sentai fan and Kamen Rider Tokusatsu guy, more Japanese Tokusatsu.
Yeah, I'm the Japanese stud. I'm the kind of person that says subs before dubs. No, I'm not actually that person.
Okay, so tell us about your personal history with Power Rangers before we begin.
Well,
if any.
There is some. You, Malcolm Doif, you did show me a few episodes of SPD a while back, and that was my first exposure to Power Rangers.
Mm-hmm.
That was an experience, and I can't wait to get back to the series eventually. It
definitely is a trip and a change from Mighty Morphin.
Yeah, I have also seen a couple episodes of RPM. Also thanks to the Doif.
Oh, RPM is a good season.
I can't wait to get there.
RPM's probably the best season. That's gonna get so much. Like, if this podcast managed to kick off the ground, I may have buried myself early with that line I just said.
In space and RPM are pretty much up there. Same with Wild Force and Time Force.
Wild Force?
Yeah, Wild Force is pretty banging.
Wild Force is pretty good, but not the best.
Not the best, but yeah.
That actually does lead me into something I forgot to mention. When I was young, like 6 years old, I had a PC ROM game of Power Rangers Time Force that I played the fuck out of.
Nice. Nice.
It was pretty fun. It was just a bunch of stupid mini games, but it was pretty fun. And more recently, and by which I mean a couple days ago, I started watching Power Rangers with you guys. Mighty Morphin specifically. Today I watched the pilot, and I have some thoughts about it.
Let's hear about the pilot, since he just started watching it.
I didn't see your episode on the pilot in episodes 1 through 4 yet. I will go back and watch it after I've watched them myself.
Thank you.
Yeah. So the pilot's fucking garbage.
Zoltar.
Fucking Zoltar, the wavy butt plug in space.
No, he's a wavy butt plug from the TV show Reboot.
Yes.
That is true. The other two thoughts I have on the pilot are that the face morphing scene, where they morph into the actual dinosaurs from the Sentai version, Zyuranger, that was very fun. Because those are the dinosaurs from the Zyuranger intro, like the ones they morph into. That's very fun. And I am in the minority of people that actually think that Alpha 5's original pilot design is better than the one in the main show.
Really? Yeah, he kind of looks a little bit better.
Morph into. I don't know. I think it's just his head looks sleeker, and I know that I'm in the minority about that, but I think it's good. I also watched episodes 1 and 2. Those were very fun, very 90s, very cringe.
Cheesy, 90s cheese.
Yeah, 90s cheese is definitely something with me that I am not very familiar with.
Yeah.
I say that being born in the 90s. But I'm curious to see what this series has been about, because I'm surrounded by people that all love the show, and let's see what I think of it. But that will conveniently lead us on to episodes 5 through 10.
Right. And speaking of episodes 5 through 10, episode 5, Different Drum.
Which was the first episode of Mighty Morphin I have ever watched.
It's very true. Very true. Oh, also he's seen some of Lost Galaxy, but we decided to go all the way to the beginning.
I forgot about that. Yeah, I did watch like 9 episodes of Lost Galaxy with you nerds.
Yeah. Oh, then we decided, you know what, fuck it. Let's just start from the beginning. Because why not?
Yeah.
Is that why you decided the name of the podcast is the Damon Podcast?
The Damon Podcast? No.
No.
It's the Where's Dion? It's an inside joke between me and a friend because, like, we used to do a lot of videos together and then he just disappeared. I still talk to I still talk to him. Dion. I still talk to him once in a while, but he just doesn't do any videos anymore. So, just out of joke, just out of a joke, I say I'm starting a podcast in your name and never have you on.
Yeah. When we do Lost Galaxy, we need to rename it the Where Is Damon Podcast.
Yeah, Damon Henderson.
The Damon Henderson.
Okay.
Yeah.
So season 1, episode 5, the Different Drum. This episode, if I remember correctly, starts off with Ernie doing a jig, but the big thing I got from this episode particularly, firstly, the monster of the week is the gnarly gnome.
The fucking gnarly gnome.
Using hypnosis to basically control the teens and whatnot throughout the episode. But the crutch of the episode is this sign language kid here. Let's see, or sign language teen, deaf girl. I can't remember what her name was. I can't remember.
Her name was Melissa.
Melissa.
I think so, yeah. But the interesting thing is early character development for Kimberly, which blew me away, was she knows sign language.
Which is something completely out of left field. Because, like, episode 1, she's talking about how her hair keeps getting tangled in the suit and how she thinks that the fucking pterodactyl Zord has a fucking really nice stereo, and here she is popping sign language out.
Well, in the first couple of episodes, she was a hardcore Valley girl, but she gets away from that in the next couple of episodes.
I mean, if
like,
this is good character development, this is good character development for Kimberly. I'm very much okay with that.
Yeah, she's got a great character. She has a good character arc. I mean,
it's interesting to see character development like this this early in the show, and in this particular season as well, because Mighty Morphin famously is mostly filler.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Up until you get to Turbo and In Space.
Mm-hmm. It seems like with Mighty Morphin, the real storyline stuff is it generally comes with the appearance of someone we will talk about in an episode or two, but I will not, because I want to save all I have to say about that individual until then.
Who's the individual?
Seriously?
Who are we talking about?
We're literally like 6 episodes away from the 5-parter.
Oh, okay, right. I thought you were talking about Ricardo Medina Jr., but never mind.
Who the fuck wants to talk about Ricardo Medina Jr.?
It's like I'm hinting at a big character. Yes, Ricardo Medina Jr.
Even Ricardo Medina Sr. doesn't want to talk about Ricardo Medina Jr.
Yeah. All right.
Like, the guy's probably nice, but he's no
Yeah,
who.
Very true. I'm just saying what he did in real life is, but yeah. Yeah.
I also want to mention that there's another piece of character development we got near the end of this episode with with the first ever Billy is a man whore moment.
Because his woman count starts from this show, because he's like, he's the ladies' man.
Yeah. Billy's body count is officially at 1.
Yes.
Yep, with the deaf girl. Way to start off strong.
Yeah. But they go into a cave, and the one thing that the deaf girl can't move is a goddamn net.
Yeah, because not a net, not the net.
Not the net. To this day, I still laugh at that part. It's like, oh no, foiled by a net.
I do think it's a very cool like way to add like a moral for accepting others as a kids show
Yeah, they did it a
is
lot. They did
you
a
know
lot in the show.
yeah, like the ability, like the deaf girl is immune to the gnarly gnome's hypnosis because the gnarly gnome's hypnosis is the accordion, which to be fair is the effect that Weird Al Yankovic has on me, but
Yes. That's a Power Rangers for you. Like every episode had like a moral to the story. That's how '90s TV shows were.
it's a kids show.
Yeah, definitely.
It's not actually a kids show, it's for anyone.
It's mostly a kid show, but people love it anyway. Adults love it. They go back and watch it.
I only say that to bother Malcolm.
Yeah.
I have a few joke lines here, which is perfect for that line, which you will now punish for. I have a note here that says, Bulk is a fusion of you and I.
Yeah, I'm the one that said that.
I know, and I nearly pissed myself when you first said that because that was scarily accurate.
True. Yeah,
It's like
he has your fashion sense, and your hair. He has my fat, and combined he has the comedic timing and comedic chops of Chris Farley transcended to godhood.
Yes. And
Chris Farley and Jack Black combined.
Yes.
Jack Black was starting to become somebody. But he was early in his career at this time. But Chris Farley was the main.
Yeah, like
dude.
Jack Black was only in. Jack Black's only been in like a couple things, and like it's still like five. Like I think this is '93, right? So this is like around the year of Neverending Story 3.
Not until he was not around '97, '98 is when he started to become known.
But no one remembers Neverending Story 3 because everyone like
hell yeah. But Bulk though, he's like for a big dude, he's pretty spry and can go really fast.
This was my first introduction to Bulk and Skull was this episode, and yeah, I fucking love them. I can't hate them. I love Bulk's comedic chops and his pratfall cartoon comedy.
Yeah.
And I love that Skull is just the straight man with just repeating everything that Bulk says, and also that hyena laugh haunts my nightmares.
Yeah, you're gonna get used to that.
You're gonna hear it a lot.
He does that a lot.
Yeah.
That's his character.
You're gonna as I said, get used to it. You're gonna hear it a lot.
My ears will bleed.
Yeah. So continue.
So yeah, the blind chick, or sorry, the deaf chick. What the fuck am I saying? The deaf chick can't get through the net. And then the Power Rangers come in, and they obviously get through the net.
Yes.
They fight the gnarly gnome. They defeat him, and then we get my first Megazord sequence, which I have to point out. I don't know if you did in the first episode, but holy shit, the fucking composer who did all of the guitar riffs is a fucking legend.
Ron Wasserman. But before you do that, you, sir, are jumping ahead because we missed a few things. So
sorry, go ahead.
Shut the fuck up, because. Let's see. So, because I have a few notes here first before we get to that point. One, the monster looks like an Asterix wet dream paralysis demon. I had to make that clear.
Yep.
Yeah, no, that's true.
And you, sir, the reason you skipped over is because we forgot to mention the bloody changing of the names of the power weapons in this.
Oh my god,
you're fucking right. I forgot about that because this is my first episode. I thought it was perfectly normal, and honestly, I'm gonna be real with y'all guys. These names are way fucking better than the generic Power X.
Power X, Power Blow.
Yeah.
Power
it honestly actually works. Except for except for the fact that they called Billy's lances or whatever he has a mace.
Battle mace or something like that.
If you called it the Mystic Lance instead of the Mystic Mace, everything would have been fine. But seriously, Cosmic Cannon, I think Power Bow is still the same, but Dino Daggers and Power Sword are also very good.
The one that stayed the same the entire time was the Power Sword, like Jason.
I'm pretty sure the bow is also called the Power Bow.
Yeah, I think it was Battle Bow or something.
Battle Bow. Okay.
Bow, yeah.
Yeah, no, but then if that case, like literally 3 out of the 5 names are better.
Yeah. Cosmic Cannon, I like that.
Cosmic Cannon sounds like the finisher of a like the ultimate, like if all of the Lost Galaxy Rangers put their weapons together and fired a gun, that's what that should be called.
Right, I agree, sir.
Okay. And so, do you guys remember the exact names of all of them? Because I didn't write them down,
The
even though I
Cosmic
should have.
Cannon, Battle Bow, Mighty Mace,
The Dino
Dino
Daggers
Daggers, Jesus Christ, and Power Sword
and
was
yeah,
the
Power
only.
Sword.
Yeah,
Power Sword was the only one that didn't change.
Now we get to the Megazord fight.
Yeah, I'm sorry. That's my bad.
it's all good.
No, it's all good. It's
all
just
good.
literally we had to talk about that.
Yeah, no, you're right. I completely forgot about that. But yes, Ron Wasserman, you absolute legend
Wasserman.
with your Wasserman, sorry, with your fucking amazing guitar riffs and your like literally part of why I love Super Sentai so much is the soundtrack. And I'm not going to talk too much about Sentai. I apologize.
Yeah.
But literally the robot fights, like the mech fights, have the best music in the entire series. And
Oh,
I
if you
think
think
Ron
that's
Wasserman
if you
I
think
think
that
Ron
sorry,
Wasserman really did this justice.
if
He
you think that's
truly did.
amazing, if you think that's amazing,
Yeah,
wait for until the Green Ranger theme song. Go Green
Oh.
Ranger, or White Ranger,
Go Green
or
Ranger,
or the fight song
go!
later on. There's a fight song with like 1, 2, fight. It's like goddamn, it's so good,
I
so good.
will I'm gonna be the resident music nerd of this podcast,
Yeah.
and I'm gonna love every piece of music because I'm a huge music guy.
Up
And
until Turbo, the music is cool. Up until Turbo, where it's just gone a little bit
I'm
downhill.
sure I'll still like stuff after Turbo, but like
Yeah.
Ron
The
Wasserman
thing is, it lasts pretty good. Like it stays pretty good for a while because Ron Wasserman stays on for I want to say till in Space is like his final season. I don't know if he does anything for Lost Galaxy.
Does a little
but,
bit for Lost Galaxy, but In Space
yeah,
was
a
his
little
last
bit for
official
Lost.
one. Yeah.
But then he
Okay.
comes back for SPD.
Nice.
All right, that's great news.
And he did. We'll get to when we get to the seasons, but he also did sample pieces for a couple other seasons. But SPD was pretty much his final season of his final theme for the series, which is very unfortunate because I would have loved to have one final Wasserman theme.
Yeah, it's a
Yeah,
good way to go out with
you sir
SPD.
are a credit to this series, and your dedication will not be forgotten.
Ron Wasserman? Yes, yes.
So anyway, the Zord fight was pretty good.
Your
The
fights are
only
always
note-
great.
The only note I have for this particular Zord fight is the monster's music is making the Megazord see Hiroshima. Apparently,
Oh yeah, no, yeah, because this you can't hypnotize the Rangers or the Zords because plot armor. So instead of his music hypnotizing them, it just teleports them to the set of a destroyed Godzilla movie.
They go to the mountains of Japan, which they always do. In
They
this.
they literally are just in a destroyed Japanese like Toho city.
and then of course the Power Sword summons, slain, monster dead. Deaf Girl saves the day pretty much, and
Rita
Billy
once
gets
again
body
talks
count.
about her headache.
No count, no adding to the headache count just yet. We are still at 3.
Oh yeah, no, you're right. My bad.
So and then we cut to season 1, episode 6,
Food fight.
Food fight.
Probably
Food
one of my
fight.
favorite episodes.
Which is significantly better than the last thing I watched that was named Food Fight.
Oh, nobody talks about that. Oh God.
Okay, so we open up with immediately, more than likely, some pulling on collar moments with, I'm pretty sure, teenagers in hula skirts.
Yeah, that's
I'm
a bit
pretty.
risque.
Yeah, I'm guessing they're teenagers in hula skirts and
But I
early
mean,
macking.
I was watching a panel with Paulie and Jason where they were talking about it, Bulk and Skull, where they're like, there's some stuff in the early days I really liked, but then some other stuff I look back at it where I'm just like,
There's a lot of stuff in the show that you'll look back on and go, yee.
I mean, the principal was there. I'm sure he sanctioned it.
Yeah. First,
Mr. Kaplan.
Mr. Kaplan. First time I saw him, I go like, "Why is the principal at a youth center?" But then they explained that they're doing it for the preschool and stuff.
It's charity.
Charity.
So
Yeah, it's
he's
probably
hanging
like
out.
an after-school program.
After school
Yeah, it
program.
definitely is like
One
a
of the
after
many.
school thing.
One of the many after school
Yeah.
programs that these kids constantly do.
So we see a bunch of different cultural, food stands. We
Appropriation.
have like we have an Asian stand. We have like a Mexican stand, I'm pretty sure. We have
And of
most of
course, the American stand has burgers.
yeah, and
Burgers, just burgers.
most of the Rangers are at the American stand.
Yeah. Kim and
Like
And
Jason.
I
literally
think it's
everyone
funny
except
that
for
the two particular Rangers they got to sit there are the two whitest, in Jason and Kimberly.
yeah. And like the only other like Trini's at the Asian stand, and then like I think Zach and
Billy was his Trini
Zach
and
Billy was with Trini, and then Zach is just kind of roaming around.
Zach is doing the African American stand.
Oh yeah, no, you're right. I forgot about the Afro American stand.
Yeah.
And
then of course,
there's also a stand that's just labeled hot,
Hot, hot, hot.
just hot, hot, hot,
and then of course,
get-
Bulk and Skull show up.
and start the titular food fight.
Well, no, before that, firstly, they have 4 members of their gang now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Which
they
you never
brought back the gang from the pilot.
No, that's not even they Bulk and Skull technically weren't even really in the pilot.
Just
There was
Bulk.
crazy ass pointy haired Bulk.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and some other dude that wasn't Skull. But then in like
But particularly with Bulk and Skull, they had like a gang in the early seasons, but then of course they petered off after a while when they slowly faded from being bullies. But now
they
they have a
moved to
4th
space.
member. But what kills me about this Bulk and Skull bit is that I can't remember if I think it's Bulk. He perfectly throws a pie and snipes Principal Kaplan's bloody toupee perfectly.
is
Yeah.
toupee.
Okay, and that was gonna lead me into what I was gonna say about the food fight. In Principal Kaplan, his toupee is flown off by a beautiful pie shot. It lands in the punch bowl, and then the dirty fucker wrings out his toupee in the fucking punch bowl. You sick fuck.
Oh,
well, it's
Jesus.
probably the only one he's got. He's working off of a teacher's salary, like in the 90s.
Yeah, I
In
know, but like,
93, yes.
ringing, you would at least take it out of the punch bowl and then ring it out like on the tablecloth or something. No, you just push all of that sweat and whatever in your toupee into the fucking punch.
Yeah.
You fucking foul fucker.
Mr. Kaplan, you
No
dirty
wonder
fuck.
you okayed the fucking hula girls.
well, look, all they need is a Brita, and it'll be fine.
Brita filter? Yes.
Brita
I think so.
filter, fuck's
Oh,
sake.
God damn it.
Just put the fruit punch through the Brita filter. It'll be fine.
Yeah. So, a food fight, hullabaloo, hullabaloo. A lot of fun, like dumb food fight moments, like your typical cliche food fight.
We get Rita early in this episode. I don't know if she wanted to get involved with the food fights specifically.
No, she said she was
this
sick and
monster
she
of the
just wanted
week-
to get rid of the food because she was sick of looking at it.
But
Yeah.
this
Rita
monster of
is
the week
petty.
this monster of the week is a big one because there's
Pudgy
many
pig.
different monsters that are iconic throughout this series, but the big one or one of them is Pudgy Pig, and that is this episode.
Pudgy Pig has a Funko Pop, and I didn't notice it until I was at Mel's the other day watching Revolution. And
Yeah,
I'm like,
She have it?
she has a Pudgy Pig Funko Pop.
which is amazing because Pudgy Pig is awesome.
We gotta get Mel on this podcast.
She's watched the first. I only watched the first. I think she's only seen the first 3
She has
seasons.
a Kimberly specific morpher.
She's got Kimberly. I got Jason. Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Pudgy Pig.
You need to
the
get Billy.
Yeah.
Yeah, Adam, you need to get Billy.
Oh, what? Because I'm a nerd.
Yes. Andreas, you should get Trini.
As you're closest to ethnic as possible.
Fun fact. You remember those Power Ranger toys where you flip the head and they have the helmets?
I had one of those.
Yeah, I had Tommy, Jason, Billy, and Zach, all four of them. I didn't get the girls because I was a young kid. I go like, girls are not great. I just need the guys. It's like if I got in the complete set. It's like if I had in the complete set, that'd be great, but I don't. Damn.
Yeah. I know all I had was, I don't know if it was Jason or Rocky back then, but because it was one of the two. Okay, let's see. Oh, so yeah, food fight. Pudgy Pig basically eats everything. For some reason, radishes are spicy.
Yeah,
there's some radishes that are spicy.
That's something like, okay, it's definitely how they did it in the Sentai episode that involved the pig monster. So apparently there's this really spicy. I think it's a type of root actually in Japan, but in Power Rangers in the American they just consider it a radish. So there's just this really, it looks like a little white carrot.
Little white carrot.
And yeah, there's just a bunch of them at the food fight. Pudgy Pig comes to the food festival and eats a bunch of food at the food festival. He does not touch the radishes because they're too spicy. So the plan is we sneak the radish into his food and he will cough up our weapons because earlier they fought Pudgy Pig and Pudgy Pig ate the weapons.
Okay. All right.
And so we get to my favorite part of the episode where they produce 5 perfectly, random items, food items. There's a cake.
Random cake.
There's a steak, I'm pretty sure is one of them.
Big hoagie.
There's a couple others, and then Trini has a beautiful big hero sandwich that's like, big baguette with some lettuce, tomato in there. I'm pretty sure there's some meat, and she slips the radish in there, and then she eats it into Pudgy Pig's mouth, and he coughs up the weapons
and gets inflated. Oh, deflated.
And gets deflated and is thrown away.
Okay.
So
and then
that's how they defeat him.
Which
the
is pretty awesome.
weirdest thing about this episode, in my opinion, is that there's no Zord fight.
Yeah, I think it was the first episode where they didn't
fight. It was a very easy defeat on their part.
Like, they didn't even summon the Zords, which was strange. Like, no Megazord happens on occasion, but no Zord sometimes, that like rarely happens.
So this is the first time, we might as well keep a track of it. First time there was no Zord fight or mention.
Or Megazord fight, yes.
Yeah, no, that's what I meant. And then we cut back to...
I am keeping track... sorry?
You're keeping track, go ahead.
Oh, I am also keeping track in my notes where the episode is. Just I'm putting a cross where there's like important stuff for the show, like stuff that isn't filler.
Yeah. So like no Megazords. Yeah, gotcha.
Mm-hmm.
So we cut back to the food festival that is now very much destroyed, and there's like no food left except for a few more radishes. And Principal Kaplan comes back and he's like, I know it's not your fault, and at least you tried to clean up a little bit, but we barely we almost have enough money for the playground. And then they produce some very nice made food by Alpha 5. Alpha 5 made some really nice sandwiches. And then they charge Principal Kaplan $20 for it. Yuck, 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 yuck. And then the episode ends.
Yeah, there's always got to be...
No, Alpha made the sandwiches because he figured out how to defeat the monster, but he was a little late on the train for that, and they accidentally give Kaplan a Pudgy sandwich.
Oh, yes, and he died. Yeah, he fucking dumps water all over himself, and he's like, that's hot.
Yeah, and they laugh like
you
idiots.
Not bad.
And they begin to laugh like idiots like they do every other episode, which is kind of annoying, but it's the 90s.
And the episode.
And then we get to that episode 7, which is
season 1,
with
episode 7, Big Sisters.
Big Sisters.
Yes, I remember we started this one, and Andreas was like, Big Sisters," and we're like, "Why do you hate this episode?"
Actually, now that I rewatch, hold on. Actually, I rewatching it. It's not that bad. I just had bad when I first started watching it and rewatching it earlier. Like it wasn't that good.
This episode does have some crazy connotations, though.
Yeah, but now that I rewatch it with you guys, it's way better because okay.
Yeah.
This specific episode, I I didn't realize, but watching this episode, there is so many big character beats story moments that are important for not just this season of the show, but literally for seasons, decades down the line.
The entire lore of the series.
Yes. First, let's see. We start with it's basically like a big brother, big sister situation with Trini and Kimberly looking after a kid.
That's
not
12
look like
years.
A kid.
He's 12 years old, but looks 42 at the same time.
Yeah,
I was really thinking the kid would be annoying, but she really wasn't that bad.
Yeah, like they start off by showing off, like, "Oh, where's this kid? She's supposedly a bit of a troublemaker," and then we see a hand turning on the hot water in the showers, and there she is, the 42-year-old child,
Maria.
Maria.
There's something to do about Maria.
What do we do about Maria?
The monster of the week this week I have listed here is the Chunky Chicken, aka a fucking turkey.
The Chunky Chicken is a turkey, yes.
It kind of looks like a chicken. He has scissors.
He has scissors. He's a giant chicken.
Okay, so a few things I have notes listed here. So we do cut with Rita talking, creating her monster as she usually does, but this particular episode is one of the first times, or one of the more frequent times I noticed where the switching of Goldar's more villain voice like this, and an inevitable voice where he wants to kill the Power Rangers.
The Randy Savage voice.
You do that way too good.
It's a really good voice, Malcolm. You do that really well.
Yeah.
Another thing I didn't get to point it out, but I just want to shout out the Monster-Matic. I love the design of the Monster-Matic.
The Monster-Matic is amazing. Like I said, it's the original one. It's so good.
It's just a really cool idea that they're just molding their monsters out of like space clay. And then they throw it in the Monster-Matic like a kiln, and then they come out and it's like an actual monster.
Actually,
like, I know that's mostly from Sentai, but like that's an actual really good idea, and I think that like if other seasons did something like this, I think I would care more about the monsters of the week.
The different seasons have their own way of bringing in monsters of the week, but they're all pretty cool. Some of them.
Yeah, it's. Cool. I feel like at a certain point, you just really stop caring after the monsters of the week. At a certain point, but again, it does depend, of course, on the season, on the era when you started watching, because like you literally could have attachment to a monster of the week from, of all seasons, Operation Overdrive.
You're bringing that in. Hey, Operation Overdrive. Not that bad, is what I'm saying.
Not that good either.
Yeah, I can't wait till we get there. Anyway,
and I've seen the entirety of it, so I can actually speak on it.
Yes.
That's understandable. That's like how I feel about Kamen Rider Wizard.
Okay, so let's see. Chunky Chicken. This is the big character beat. Okay, so we get the Chunky Chicken, and we get basically why Rita needs this kid, because she kidnaps Maria, and we don't know why at first, and it's because she finds these mystical, these 3 mystical items called the Power Eggs.
Yes. Inside a treasure chest that only an innocent child can open.
After being sacrificed or whatever. But
because she looked really innocent earlier.
This 43-year-old lady.
firstly, due to the interference or whatever that's being caused by this, the communicators and the teleportation is down to the command center. So we, ladies and germs, get the very first appearance of everyone's favorite flying car from this show,
The Red
the
Bug,
Rad
baby.
The Rad Bug, which to be fair, I thought was stupid at first. It's a pretty fucking cool idea. I just wish they picked a car that wasn't a bug.
Bro, Billy is a mad genius. He made a flying car.
He did, and I'm not shaming him for that. Just
Yeah.
pick a better make and model.
Yes.
It's like, wait, Doc, so you're telling me you built a flying machine out of a bug?
Yeah.
Out of a
Like-
Volkswagen?
But it
Yes.
would be called Bug to the Future.
Bug to the damn it. Okay. Oh, damn it. Who plays Biff?
Fucking what's his name? Shit.
Bulk.
Jeff
Oh,
Goldblum.
Jeff
Jeff Goldblum, because he was the Fly.
What you doing here, McFly?
Hello, McFly.
So we get Flight of the Rad Bug flies into the command center oh so beautifully with 90s green screen technology. And then we get, I believe this is the first time actually when we get, of course, the reintroduction of Alpha and Zordon. The first time he says, "Behold, the viewing globe."
He said it in the first episode.
He said it in the first episode.
Oh, he did? Okay, I think I missed it then.
Yeah. He said,
Um,
"Behold the viewing globe, so that your doubts may be cleansed with answers," or some bullshit.
Yeah. Like
But
you don't
in
like
this-
if you don't believe a giant head in a goddamn robot.
Yeah. Anyway,
But when he says this, he says something that unknowingly to the creators of the show at the time would change the lore of the show for years to come.
Yeah.
When they're talking about the power eggs, they mentioned that they were, I believe, harnessed or found by
created.
the Morphin Masters.
Which we don't hear from
Yeah.
again until Dino Fury, because they
Have fun. See you later. See you in Dino and Cosmic Fury.
yeah. Because like they didn't
Literally,
they mentioned that one little thing and they took it and made it a big deal in Dino. No, Ninja Steel. Never mind. They did it first.
No. You got it right. It was the Dino Fury.
But they also said in Ninja Steel a little bit.
No, they didn't. They only mentioned the star, the
Oh, right. So Dino Fury, yeah. Okay, all right.
yeah, and then it was Dino Fury, and I believe they said that the Morphing Masters were the creator of the Nexus Star, the Nexus
Star.
Prism.
Right. Okay, yeah, you're right.
Yeah. So it links to
Um,
Cosmic Fury as well.
It links to
let's
everything.
see.
Yeah.
So then we get, of course, the Rangers going to save the day here, of course.
The child that is tied up is very clearly Japanese.
Sentai footage. You gotta work with what you got.
See,
You gotta work around
okay,
it.
we have a few episodes to go till the really funny bit with the monsters, but I believe we do get a I do believe we get a Zord fight here.
We do.
Wait, hold on. Don't forget that the chicken slowly cuts the damn rope.
Oh yeah, that was
very
funny. Just
slowly.
to kill the
Like
kill the child.
his blades must have been way too dull. Like he spends like 30 seconds cutting this fucking rope.
Yeah. He does. He really
So
does.
well, yeah, and one last note: when they eventually go into the Megazord fight, it's a pretty good fight, of course. I don't think nothing too inventive for this one.
Yeah,
but,
no, it's mostly just normal fight, power sword, kill, the end.
But the funniest note I have for this one is they I think I caught a continuity error with Power Rangers where they're using later on footage because there's an overhead shot of the Megazord cockpit where you see Red using the Green Ranger console.
Yeah, that's that would be good use of Sentai footage.
And I really like that, and it makes you think why they like specifically chose that, other than they probably wanted the overhead shot, and that was the only one they could find.
You know they chose
I'm
that by
pretty
accident.
sure that I'm pretty sure that overhead shot comes from the if I'm remembering correctly, it comes from the Jew Ranger Die Ranger movie.
Yeah,
I think so.
but Malcolm, you gotta remember, Saban didn't know what the hell he was getting himself into. He's like mixing footage here and there. They didn't know what they were doing until later
It was
on.
the 90s. They didn't have the
Saban
internet.
was just trying to make a fun 90s TV show for the kids.
Yeah.
And he succeeded.
Yes, that's
As
exactly the thing.
Balkan's Paulie and Jason in another panel. I watched like a bunch of panels of theirs today. One of the panels, they basically said it's like, well, you see, we had the kung fu and the robots and whatnot, but the one thing we didn't have in the show, unfortunately, was continuity.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah, exactly.
Because there's a bunch of episodes later on where like they mention one thing, and then the next episode they're like, "What? We're getting this?" And they already introduced it in the earlier episode.
Even the continuity of Bulk and Skull is so over the place. It's like one second they're bullies, they're cops, then they're monkeys, and it's just like a whole other thing.
Every time I think of the continuity errors, I just think of the
chimps, apes.
What?
Yeah. Every time I think of the continuity errors, I think of just the TFS Krillin own counter just popping up in the corner every time there's a continuity error.
But but don't forget, Bulk and Skull have the best character arc. They go through a lot.
So let's see. For Big Sisters, we get the wrap up. We get the one last note I have here is that I think this is the first time the Power Rangers were reported on the news.
Yeah, they did get a little news thing, and it definitely wasn't an Angel Grove news board. It was like a different city. So that means that now more people outside of Angel Grove in the canon now know that the Power Rangers exist.
Probably Stone Canyon. Because, like, Stone Canyon is like a rival of Angel Grove later on.
I have no clue what Stone Canyon is. Okay.
Yeah.
And we will more than likely be talking about Stone Canyon a bit more in
season 2. Yeah. Stone Canyon, yeah.
And then, of course, we get the wrap up.
Next episode. Another one of my favorite episodes. Aye, Guy. Episode 8.
It's I Guy.
I Guy.
It's an iRobot joke.
Yes.
Pay attention to the punctuation, my dear sir.
I need to go see it. Oh, iRobot? Or did you? Yeah.
I'm going to be completely honest with you guys. I think out of all of the 6 episodes we watched for this batch, this one was the next one was my favorite.
Let's see. I know what's next, so that's so let's see. Firstly, let's see which ones. Oh yeah, VR invented by Kid.
Yeah, he invented
VR headset.
This is the Billy and Willie episode.
Billy and Willie. Yeah. He invented
Billy
the Oculus Rift.
Eccentric friend. Yeah, Willie invented a better version of the Virtual Boy that actually does virtual reality. It makes you feel like you're sitting in 3 different roller coasters at once.
Yes, indeed.
Because they just use different stock footage from different fucking roller coasters for this scene.
Maybe they're all in different roller coasters.
To be fair, these are actually, like, I did look it up. These are all they're stock, but they're all like roller coaster simulator footage. So like these are all things that would be used in an actual roller coaster sim at like Disney World or something.
Ah, okay, cool. Let's see. So a few things here. Yeah, the VR invented by Willie, which I question to any listeners out there, if this is posted on YouTube or something, you can comment. Is Willie Billy's brother?
Who knows? Never knew.
Or is Willie just Billy's eccentric friend from like the 2nd grade?
It was never really answered. I'm guessing his brother, but we never see him again.
Or maybe it's like an Ed and Eddie situation.
Yeah. But everybody else talks to him, so he is real.
He's there, yeah.
Is he real?
It's not like Scrubs, where the janitor was supposed to be a figment of JD's imagination.
Oh my god, that would be pure evil. It's like he sticks the penny in the door, gets haunted for years, and it turns out he never existed.
Exactly.
Or it's like that episode of of South Park where everyone's it just is convinced to ignore Cartman, so Cartman thinks he's dead and haunting everyone.
That's the best one.
I think that's the one where they really establish him and Butter's relationship. Anyway, I got to get back on track. Oh yeah, so before I wrap up, I forgot to say that, on the last
Before we continue.
episode, before I forgot to mention, I have a headache counters now at 4.
Oh yeah, we forgot to mention that, and I think this is also like the second or third time she asks for an aspirin.
I think so.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
I'm not going to add aspirin because we already have way too many counters and we're already 8 episodes into the show.
Yeah,
and her
very true.
And her most famous line is "I got a headache" is more in tune with everybody.
Yeah. So we'll keep that. We'll keep that rolling. So Willie has this really cool VR headset that he's entering into the science fair. Oh yeah, you wanted me to continue. Okay. Hold on.
Oh yeah, no.
So he's entering it. So he's entering it into the science fair. I'm sorry. Fuck.
No, it's okay. Go on ahead.
Yeah, he's entering into the science fair, and then they cut to the science fair, and Bulk and Skull show up with that awesome incidental music that I love.
Boom, 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 boom.
You know what?
Show up.
The fun fact, you know what that sound is? Because they actually mentioned it in one of their panels what that was.
What is that?
The boom 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 is supposed to be the fat guy walking in, and
that makes sense.
And his Skull's laugh.
And that's actually awesome.
Yeah.
I love that.
That is beautiful because literally it's like partnering Bulk and that's awesome.
Yeah,
that's awesome. So Bulk and Skull show up at the science fair, and they do usual Bulk and Skull things. And then,
speaking of which, how many times will Bulk lose his pants?
A lot.
A lot of times. So through incidental shenanigans, they end up in what I thought originally was a teleporter, but it's actually a fashion machine that removes their bully clothes and replaces it with drag. And I will tell you, holy shit, Bulk looks really good as a woman.
Yeah.
That's only because he looks like you when you're in Hairspray.
Hairspray, the movie.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, no.
Look, we get it. You're hot. Deal with it.
Thank you. Bulk and Skull become women for a bit, trans rights, and then they leave. But because of the incidental bullshit, the head judge of the science fair blames Willie for
no reason,
this, and then disqualifies him for no reason other than he's a dick.
Yeah.
I'm noticing a pattern in these early episodes where Bulk and Skull constantly get the main 5 blamed for shit that they do.
Yeah, it happened with the Pudgy Pig episode. They were blamed for the food fight. And,
even though they literally were trying to stop it.
Yep. That's Bulk and Skull for you.
So let's see, we get the Monster of the Week, which of course it's in the name, but is another iconic Power Ranger monster.
Iconic.
Damn. I guy.
Fiddlesticks. I hate you guys. Yes, I guy, who at first really terrified me.
Yeah, that's fair. That design really could scare a child.
Bro, I was like 9 when I first saw I guy, and that shit scared me. It's a giant eye.
He's not the scariest thing in this batch, though.
Yeah, just saying, the dude's a giant eye.
Believe me, we're going to talk about the scariest one next.
Yeah.
Let's see. One last thing I want to talk about before we get to the rest of the episode is the Bulk and Skull fight isn't normally like their usual shenanigans in this episode. Like, we get a mini fight scene.
Yeah, a mini fight that also leads to them being dogpiled onto a cart, which is then pushed into the Fashion-O-Matic or whatever.
Like, yeah, like that's what leads to that. But what got me to thinking about like it just sticking out is the fact that in these early episodes, Bulk and Skull, yes, are bullies, but they aren't treated like the bullies in the pilot, like a somewhat kind of sort of threat where they would fight each other. Like in these episodes, it seems like they were just like joke bullies, even like the main
They are
characters
kinda
didn't even
joke
take
bullies.
those kind of bullies seriously. Like
in the
we'll
pilot,
actually
he's
get
a
a sample of
serious.
that. We'll get a sample of something similar to that in season 2 when Lord Zed shows up. The fact that even the school treats them as joke bullies, but
It's
in these early
basically the first
seasons,
season, because in the pilot episode, Bulk was a serious punk / bully, but in the show, they're like kind of a joke. Let's be real, they are a joke kind of bully. No one takes them seriously.
But then here they are with an actual fight scene with
Yeah.
Zach and Jason.
Like, I mean, they try, but they're still like they do get clowned on a lot.
But I mean, this is the closest they've gotten to fighting. This is an actual fight.
Yeah.
And like the only other time they've gotten close to this is when Bulk was doing karate with Jason in episode 1.
Yes, that too.
So let's see, what else do I have in my notes here? Billy's younger brother goes missing, kidnapped by Eye Guy, and stored in the vortex dimension in Eye Guy's main eye.
He went to Chuck E. Cheese.
For some reason, puts him in a gravity machine.
He just went to Chuck E. Cheese.
The fucking NASA simulator.
That like
that's how you
space astronauts. Yeah.
Because that's how you extract knowledge from a child, is you just put them through centrifugal forces until their brain dribbles out of their ears.
Let's not forget, before he got kidnapped, he's at the lake, he's at the pond, and then I goes like, "Ha ha, you're coming with me." He's like, "Who are you?" Instead of the usual thing.
His first words when in reaction to Eye Guy were, "Who are you?" instead of running the fuck away while saying "fuck."
Yeah. It's like, what the hell are you?
With shit slowly filling his khaki overalls, or no, his denim overalls.
His denim overalls.
It must be Billy's brother, because they're dressed like exactly alike, except he has a hat.
They're both blue. Yeah.
Yeah.
So this leads into the Power Rangers' main goal being to defeat Eye Guy. Obviously, they fight him for a while.
Basically.
Yeah, they fight him for a while and they can't really do anything. So Zordon chimes in through the communicators, like, "Hey, Billy, you gotta go find the main eye, fucko."
God, it's obvious. Get the main eye. Sorry, I didn't tell you earlier.
Yeah,
I tend to do that a lot.
Billy goes off by himself to find the main eye and gets shot with fucking lasers.
Yes.
Dead.
But he gets back up, slices through the main eye, and they get teleported to the vortex dimension, I'm pretty sure, where they fight Eye Guy and defeat him. And then
Zord fight in this one?
There is a Zord fight in this one. They save Billy, and then Rita yeets her staff to the ground, and Eye Guy grows. And then they Zord fight, which is pretty. It's pretty standard for the Zord fights. There's no notes.
Yeah, I don't think there's any stick out for the Megazord fight in this particular one. Yeah, occasionally there will be. I do know in the second, in the final episode we're going to be talking about. There's more to talk about.
Oh, a lot more to talk about. I thought it was next episode. No, it is. It isn't. Happy birthday, Zach.
No, the next episode
I have a lot to talk about that one, but not yet, because there's. I'm trying to remember what the wrap up was. Oh yeah, the wrap up. The science fair, Billy of course gets the blue ribbon. I don't know if there's any funny Vulcan skull bit.
Oh no, there is.
But
they come back in towels. They come back in towels and try and get their clothes back.
While still in makeup.
And while still in makeup, but they're in towels. And they look at the judge dude, and the judge dude's still a dick. But then they're like, "Where are our clothes?" And then they open up the fashionator, whatever the fuck it's called, and there are their clothes, but they're really tiny because they shrunk in the dryer. Da 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 da.
I'll be honest, I really wanted there to be a really dark joke where we get Skull's like shrunken handkerchief, and he's like, "My aunt gave this to me before she died of cancer," and then just walks away.
It's like, God damn it.
No, he says, "My aunt gave this to me before cancer." Bam, bam,
bam, bam, bam. The dark version, the dark multiverse of the.
Cuts to their and all you see is like their stunned faces, like, oh my god, I'm so sorry, Bulk. And then like it just freeze frame right there.
Yeah. Of all the times the Rangers can be in complete dicks to them, this is the one time where they cross the line.
Yeah, they went too far, and they're like, they take like Skull isn't even like mad. He's just like really sad. He's like, I miss my aunt.
It's like my aunt gave me this thing, and Bulk just hugs him like,
The
it's okay.
episode gets so dark out of nowhere.
Bulk just hugs him like, look what you did! Look what you did!
I tell you exactly what it is. It's like that one nostalgia critic joke where they're parodying that Canadian PSA, like, you know what, my friend, you look like you're thirsty. You know what I need when I'm thirsty? A nice cold glass of mountain water. It's like, that's what I have every morning. What do you have? I have pancreatic cancer.
I forgot about that PSA. Yeah. That's fucked, man.
Or the other one, don't you put it in your mouth, don't you put it in your mouth.
Until you ask someone.
I never really grew up with that one. Okay, so
the next episode is
For Whom the Bell Trolls,
which is my favorite episode of this batch.
Another one of my favorite episodes
because it has a bunch of shit. First of all, it has the introduction of Mrs. Appleby.
Yeah, I love Mrs. Appleby. She's such a staple to the show. She's great. I wouldn't say a staple. Wait, I wouldn't say wait. Hold on. I wouldn't say a staple. She's just a great character.
She is a pretty decent side character, and I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
So
she gives great facial reactions.
Yes, she does.
She does have great facial reactions. She's kind of like Brock Lesnar for the show in a way.
What? How? Oh, facial expressions? Yeah.
Good facial expressions. Nothing else. Nothing else about Brock is okay. So for this on.
So I want to say before you begin, the very first note I have for this is this is the Mr. Tickle Sneezer.
Tickle Sneezer.
Yeah, we will get there. We will fucking get there. So it's show off your it's hobby week at the school, and Mrs. Appleby is opening up conversations for people to show off their hobbies, and of course all of the Power Rangers show off a few of their hobbies. I'm gonna save Trini for last, but I'm pretty sure Jason does some karate. Zach break dances.
Yeah, sorry, hold on, wait a second. Sorry, Jason does the Steve Blackman thing where he just does the weapon stuff.
Yeah, he does that. I forget what Billy does, if Billy does anything.
Volcano.
Oh yeah, Billy does make the volcano, and it's like purple volcano stuff, and Bulk gets into the volcano.
And Mrs. Appleby gives Billy a look of, "Don't you stain my floor, you bastard."
I was gonna save this for later, but Mrs. Appleby reminds me of that one viral video of that one teacher who keeps screaming at her children not to bring pomegranates into class.
You need to show me that video later. I don't know what you're talking about.
I think there's a follow-up video to her reacting to that and being mad about the video.
Yeah. That's great. Yeah, so Billy does the volcano, Jason does the Steve Blackman thing. Kimberly does a handstand on Mrs. Appleby's desk, which looks pretty impressive.
Well, she is a gymnast in real life, though.
Yeah, exactly. But Kimberly's hobby is gymnastics.
Yeah.
Zach does the breakdancing, and it's pretty impressive looking, honestly.
Wait,
then we get to Trini's hobby.
Wait. Zach did the surfing.
Oh, he was surfing. I'm sorry. Yeah, so I forgot he surfs. He's like Johnny Tsunami in a way.
You know what? Wait a minute. Why wasn't he doing hip hop keto?
I don't know, because we never see him surfing ever again.
Yeah, I guess that's just more weird character development, because he already does like martial arts and stuff. You don't need to have him do multiple sports. But then we get to Trini's hobby, which is clearly the most fucked up of the five. She collects dolls.
Which is terrifying.
Which, it's normal. You think like, oh, she collects, Cabbage Patch Kids or something, relatively normal. No, they're like porcelain dolls from around the world. Like the first one she shows is like a Japanese porcelain doll, and it has a kimono on, and like it looks pretty impressive. But they're like creepy ass dolls, and then we get to the creepiest one of them all, Mr. fucking Tickle Sneezer.
As a guy who just like gets creeped out by any doll, this is just creepy to me.
I am so thankful they decided not to turn that fucking doll into the suit and just use an entirely separate design.
Yeah, because holy fuck, the doll itself. Like, I know you're editing this, Andreas. Can you just put up a picture of the doll for this small segment?
Tickle Sneezer
Uh,
or the other
yeah,
one?
of the doll, not the monster, the doll.
Holy Jesus. What is that? What the fuck is that?
Oh, right.
Uh,
Yeah.
Yeah, because like
Evil.
it looks terrifying. It looks like the Invisible Man, like the old Universal Invisible Man, but high as fuck and on like 13 different fucking drugs. Because it's got this really scary curled smile. It's like if the troll face was high, and I hate it. It's fucking terrifying. And she goes into the legend of Mr. Tickle Sneezer, like how he has like magical powers and how he like collects things. Uh, and yeah, no, I fucking hate him. And I'm pretty sure Bulk and Skull also hate him because at the end, when everyone leaves, they just start picking up Mr. Tickle Sneezer and throwing him back and forth at each other. But wait, yeah, no, I skipped something again. After the bell rings, Miss Appleby says, "Don't forget to read to do your homework," and she talks about what's on the blackboard. Malcolm, did you have what was on the blackboard?
Chapter 4.
I don't-
Question marks. Why do we need them?
Yeah, it's such a
Wait.
stupid line.
Wait, what was on the chalkboard?
Question marks. Why do we need them?
Chapter 4, question marks. Why do we need them?
She even said it in the episode.
Okay, that is not high school like
That's
things we're learning about.
That's kindergarten.
That's kindergarten.
Yeah.
It just makes me it makes me think, what the fuck were they learning last week? Okay, children, A B C D E F.
Yeah.
Teaching high school kids the alphabet. I mean, at least Bulk and Skull would get something out of it.
Like when I was in high school, when like the kids that actually with the kids that actually were there in fucking high school when they weren't too busy getting high in the park.
Yeah.
Like I didn't learn this crap. Like
I was busy writing fucking three paragraph long essays about why Streetcar Named Desire is a monumental piece of literature, not why do we need question marks.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
no,
a-
what's
that's
funny
Angel
is I
Grove
think I had a
type
cooler
movie.
class because I had Blade Runner.
Yeah, that's fair. Blade Runner is a pretty. I mean, Streetcar. I liked Streetcar. Anyway, to stop getting off track. So the bell rings, and then Bulk and Skull are throwing the doll, Mr. Tickle Sneezer, the nightmare around. And you know, Jason and Trini eventually get them to stop. Then we crash cut to Trini's room, or as I like to call it, hell.
Pretty much is hell, because like, goddamn, Trini, how many dolls do you
Like-
need?
Trini has at least 50 porcelain dolls in her room, and I'm like, how the fuck do you sleep?
Very carefully.
One of those things is currently looking at you, aiming to kill you. Like, this is, you know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of Resident Evil Village and the fucking Beneviento house, like the doll house. And it's just like there's a bunch of dolls everywhere, and like it just makes me think they're gonna become sentient and kill me.
That is okay. That is the least scary thing about that level and that house. If you remember the giant creepy ass fucking fetus that's in the basement.
I wasn't gonna mention the fetus. Calm down.
Look, okay, look that no. If you mention that house, I can't help but think about that, and you didn't warn me.
You need to warn him. Warn him.
I'm sorry I didn't warn you about the giant fetus. It's just as scary as Mr. Tickle Sneezer.
The Japanese, man, they have a direct line to my fucking fear funny bone.
Yeah. So friggin' oh yeah, I forgot that Rita also sees Mr. Tickle Sneezer and hears about this legend and is like, "Oh, we could use him." So she gets Squat and Babu to go down and steal Mr. Tickle Sneezer.
It was just Squat. He just went down.
Oh, I thought it was Squat and Babu. I thought they were both there. Okay, my bad. So Squat goes down and takes Mr. Tickle Sneezer. Actually, a very clean grab and steal from Squat, who is well known to be the fuck up.
Must have been a good pickpocket back in the day.
I guess. And then he fell off. So he goes back, and Rita makes Mr. Tickle Sneezer a real boy.
He's a real
And
boy.
With a way better
thankfully-
design, thankfully.
Thankfully, he's a lot less scarier in his monster form, which is awesome. And it's not even like she doesn't even like try to like control him through like hypnosis or any sort of like spell. She just kind of bullies him into working for her.
Yep, it's like, you're working for me now. Deal with it.
With using the very menacing and mystical fish-eyed lens zoom in on him.
Like
Yeah.
back and forth, back and forth.
So
my mouth is too. My wide-angle lens is about to burst.
So he spends this whole episode basically just going around stealing and gathering goodies, and which eventually leads to him stealing the rad bug, I do believe, or
No,
just a
just
car
Trini's
with
car.
Trini and
It's
Billy.
It's just a car with Trini and Billy in it,
Yeah.
and like he starts off relatively tame with like stealing like an empty truck, like an empty taxi,
the
some
Japanese
other thing.
bullet train.
And then I'll get there, and then he steals the car with Billy and Trini in it, and then he steals the fucking Tokyo Tower.
Yeah.
Then he steals a fucking airplane, and then he steals the Japanese bullet train. Like thousands of people are on that for their work commute, and you have just fucked up their day, Mr. Tickle Sneezer.
What about the people in the plane? It's like they're in.
Yeah.
It's like, imagine being on the plane,
flights get delayed all the time. I'm sure they're fine.
but from out of nowhere they just disappear. Well, there was the army lost that goddamn jet one time.
Yeah.
I don't know how the army
I mean,
can
it's
lose
not
a
like
jet.
they're lost forever. Like literally an hour later, everything gets released.
Yeah.
Yeah, and a few things I want to mention in this that I have in my notes here. Firstly, because after they're all released and we go into the Zord fight, I do mention here that they're really starting to experiment with the editing of the Zord sequence and the Megazord sequence, sort of experimenting with the editing a bit to find what looks and feels the coolest.
They're still trying to play the field, like they're trying to figure their stuff out.
But honestly, in hindsight, thinking about this particular Zord sequence, that's not really all I can think about. Because all I can think about is where the hell did that Japanese kid come from, and why did he get so big?
You gotta watch You gotta watch Zhu Ranger to figure it out.
Yeah, can you throw up a still of the fucking Japanese kid right next to the Megazord, please?
Okay.
It's
It's like
so
I had to
awesome.
say it. Like there's a little Japanese boy right.
Why?
It like literally looks like the little Japanese boy is holding the Megazord's hand,
Yeah.
and like and then they cut away and they show they show
Editing should be a thing.
they cut back and they show Mr. Tickle Sneezer for a bit, and then they cut back again and there's an explosion around the Megazord, and the fucking kid is still there in the explosion, and then finally runs off screen.
That giant kid is dead, but he fed a lot of people.
Yeah. that is my favorite part of the episode, is that there's
hold on. The kid goes down, the kid dies, and then after credit sequence, you get Ron Perlman coming out of him saying, "Where's my goddamn shoe?"
I'm not sure, but don't quote me on this. I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure
I'm not gonna do that joke.
I'm pretty sure the kid died in the Sentai version. I'm not sure. Don't quote me.
Thanks
on
for making it dark.
I don't want to think about it. But besides that very obvious point, the Megazord fight isn't much to be like talked about. It's pretty middle of the road. Then we cut back, and it was a
It's
dream.
all a dream.
It was
all a dream.
It was a fucking dream. God fucking damn.
It was a fucking dream. And but we do the wrap up. I did put a cross next to this episode because it's very minor, but we do get the very first appearance of Bulk and Skull's first names.
Oh yeah,
and their full names actually.
The full names.
Farkas
Farkas
Bulkmeyer and Eugene Skulovich.
and Eugene Skulovich, which, to be fair, are my two favorite stupid names in media right now.
Let's see. Do I have any more notes here? No, that's pretty much it. And their hobby is flea circus.
Yeah. So they open up the flea circus, and then Bulk is like, Skull, where are the fleas? And then they're all over Miss Appleby. Bam, 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 bam.
Imagine if she had a tick allergy. She'd be dead. Like, that's what you get.
She'd be dead.
Why are why is it now we're doing the end of the episodes are super fucking dark?
I don't know, it's just fun that way. Where are the fleas? On Miss Appleby. Kids, I have a flea allergy. Oh, shit.
Dead.
Hey kids, I don't feel so good.
Like the freeze frame happens as she's falling down dead.
Mr. Cranston, I don't feel so good.
Dead.
Oh my god.
So we get to the final episode of this episode block, and if you wouldn't mind, I'd like to take this one.
Go for it.
You can have it. Yeah, no, it's sentimental to you. You
go for it. Go for it, counselor.
Season 1, episode 10. Happy birthday, Zach! The very first episode of Mighty Morphin Power Rangers that I've ever seen.
What an episode to see for the first time.
So I started out with Dino Thunder and an episode of SPD that I completely forgot about until I rewatched a couple months back. But this episode, Happy Birthday, Zach, when I was a kid, I think I was at like a flea market or something, but I was given a VHS of a Mighty Morph, of a few different episodes, I think 2 particularly, of episodes of Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. One was the episode High Five, the second ever episode, but the second was this one. And I honestly feel like they filmed this pretty close to like the pilot or the Day of the Dumpster, because there's a lot of things here that feel like it was filmed like a story wise immediately afterwards. Like in the beginning, we get a shot of the juice bar after hours, basically late. So we get more development for Ernie, particularly as sort of the sort of sixth member of the gang, sort of, since they're always at the juice bar. They're obviously friends of Ernie.
Which I kind of say they're not really friends. They just go to juice bar. He's like a guy they know.
I mean, they're definitely really, they do appreciate Ernie, considering how much they can, have fun in the fucking community center and juice bar.
Yeah.
By the way, I forgot to mention, I'm sorry, Malcolm, I'll let you get back. I forgot to mention earlier, my favorite part about the juice bar is that they denote that it's a juice bar by a single neon sign that says juice bar, and also a single toucan.
But the full name of the juice center is Ernie's Juice and something. It's just
I know. I think it's like Ernie's Juice Bar and Community Center.
Yeah, but like inside it just says juice bar, which is hilarious.
Yeah. Anyway, back to the recap.
So Ernie's struggling with more than likely a Billy creation called the Cake-O-Matic, and it spits out foam. And because they are preparing for Zach's birthday, and we only get the appearance. What I liked about this particular episode is that we don't get all the Rangers at once. So as like an introduction, I thought it was really cool that we got basically like slow introductions to the Rangers. Like it shows Billy's a dork, Kimberly is of like the cool one of the group and whatnot, because Pink usually is the Valley Girl, and we do actually get a lot of moments of Trini translating Billy in this episode, which I liked. But
that is a good thing.
What I did like is that in this episode, we get a Rita plot, which I thought kind of works for Rita because she hates the Power Rangers, so she finds out that it's Zach's birthday, so she's like, I'm going to create an evil present for you. Mwahaha. Like that is like old school cheese villain for me. Instead of you gave me or like I hate music, I'm going to kill the world or something. Like
or that one episode where Kimberly was making a float and she just decides, I'm just gonna destroy it.
I remembered watching that episode and being like, why is Amy not why is Kimberly crying over a float? My thought was, why the fuck is Amy Jo Johnson trying so hard in this episode?
There's also an episode coming up. I don't know what season it's in, but it's one where Kimberly's like, "Oh, I don't have lipstick. I can't look good for the girls," and then they just summon lip syncer because of that.
Oh yeah, the lipstick monster, yeah.
So let's see. So we get that. We get then the scene with Rita, and then we get Ernie talking to the guys about the Power Rangers, and we get a line that confuses me.
Yeah, we had a huge 5-minute debate about the fucking validity of this line. Go ahead.
And I think Andreas is right because he basically says, you know, that they're kind of like what Batman does for Gotham City. Is Batman canon in fucking Power Rangers? And if so, why is it George Clooney?
No. It's 1993. It's Michael Keaton.
No, look, just because it's 93, I'm telling you, with the way Power Rangers is, it would not be Michael Keaton. There would be nipples on that bat suit.
So not Val Kilmer?
There would be badass and bat nipples.
So not Val Kilmer then?
You know what? Maybe I'll give you Val Kilmer. I'm not going to say it was
agree with Val Kilmer.
Because George Clooney was worst of the worst. And I feel like, no. Wait, I got it. Clooney is the Batman for Turbo.
Yes.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah. I still think it, like, I still don't know how I feel about this line, because immediately everyone's like, oh, this means Batman is canonically real in the Power Rangers universe. I just think that it's just because the comics are there.
Well, the Turtles are real in this universe, but we'll get to that when we get to that.
Oh, God, I forgot about that.
Yeah, no, don't worry. It's only one episode, and we don't have to deal with it for very long. So, in this sort of conversation that they're talking and whatnot, we get my very first appearance of Bulkin's skull, and in my opinion, for an introduction to these characters, this episode has a really good introduction for Bulkin's skull. It has some of my favorite comedy work that we've even seen so far. Like, I like a lot of their stuff, but the stunt work they do, I gotta mention the balloon because Adam loved this bit too.
Yeah, the balloon was great.
Bulk is like reacting to Kimberly laughing at Skull being a doofus, and he goes, and then he squeezes the balloon. Doesn't pop it. He just squeezes all the air out of it, like like snaps it like an elastic band, and then just drops it.
It's fucking amazing.
I have never seen anyone do that with a balloon back when I was a kid and since, and it's just Bulk and Skull never change. If I can get them on this podcast,
that would be amazing. God, if I could actually speak to Paul and Jason, that'd be crazy.
I think all we could ask them is how many times did you bring a 9mm into a Denny's?
Oh God, he'd leave. He'd leave immediately.
Well, you'd think. But,
what the fuck, man?
Oh, that's amazing.
That's an actual story. Okay, that's an actual story. Because during filming, when they were out in the desert, they would just hunt animals. I think it was like Paul, Jason.
Are you talking about when they were in Australia?
Paul, Jason Narvi, and Jason David.
Wait, hold on. Was this when they were in Australia making the movie?
I want to say so, yeah. And and they literally was just like, can we just go get Denny's or something? And they go, and I believe it's Jason Narvi, the actor who plays Skull, who goes like he's like checking himself, and he's like, I brought a 9mm to this Denny's, or no, it was like a semi-auto actually, or something. He brought a gun to a Denny's.
1911 to this Denny's.
Hi, yeah, I unfortunately the nuclear codes, I accidentally released them and our location, so it's like, Skull, why do you have nuclear codes?
I brought these nuclear codes to a fucking Chipotle.
I think I remember this story. It's starting to come back now.
Hi, yes.
So-
Is there some place where I can check my minigun?
Yeah, I brought this Gatling gun to this Wendy's. I'm sorry.
So continuing on with this episode, man, Jason Narvi, why do you always make things go off track, even when you're not here?
Yeah.
He's a fucking legend. That's why.
That is true. Thank you very much. Yeah, I even have in my notes my personal favorite Bulk and Skull jokes. We have a few things. One, when Rita goes to Finster, I don't know if I talk about Finster too much, but they're going through a booklet of all these different monsters, which I loved looking at when I was a kid too, with the sampling of this episode, because it gave a brief sort of preview to all these different monster designs, including my personal favorite monster of the week, just strict design, King Sphinx.
King Sphinx from episode.
Oh yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
King Sphinx is great.
He actually in the Sentai, I believe, he's my brother.
Yeah, in the Sentai,
Yeah,
he's actually Goldar's brother.
He is Goldar's brother in the Sentai. Yes, he is.
Oh, and Malcolm, do you know that in the Sentai, Goldar is actually married to Scorpina?
Lammy, yeah.
Yeah. Just wanted to let you know that.
Okay, I need you to clear this up, but like, isn't King Sphinx used in the
Pilot and
in the
one of the
pilot?
episodes, yeah.
Yes, I want to believe King Sphinx is the monster pilot.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and
Pilot
he's
monster.
called Fly Guy in the pilot.
Goldar's Fly Guy, and they call the other guy Ugly Guy or something.
Yeah, that's fucking stupid.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
we get one of the more unique monster creations of the early episodes. That isn't just the Monster-O-Matic. We get like the forging of the sword. We get Rita saying a spell. I always
the
thought
birth
this
of
was
the Black
cool.
Knight.
The Nasty Knight, who we get footage of Rita talking about how he was defeating a great warrior, aka the Black Jew Ranger.
Gengi.
Yeah, Engi, yes.
And
He couldn't
then
have
the-
defeated Boy though. Boy is undefeatable.
Boy is the Yellow Ranger. Yeah.
and then we get the kind of sort of filler of this episode is so they're cleaning up, and they need to because they're dressing up the juice bar for Zach's birthday party. And then they do I think something similar they did in a couple episodes where they speed up the footage and play that we need to hurry up and clean up music.
Yeah, they did a fucking big comfy couch 10-second tidy.
I do love that, but what I love about that is the editing with the music, because then we just get Zach in the background or just his voice just going.
Yeah. It's so fucking stupid. I love
it's like we are hearing what we sound like when we sing to ourselves when we're walking down the sidewalk.
Yes.
Yeah.
This is how we sound to other people when we sing.
Yeah. It's terrible. This is like how I sounded when I first heard my stand-up set, and I'm like, oh god, I hate that.
You were good.
No, I mean no. The jokes. It wasn't about the joke. It wasn't about the jokes. It was about how I like my voice.
Oh yeah, no,
right,
hearing your own voice will always throw you off.
Yeah, it's always to throw you off. Yeah.
Yeah.
So then we get the big conflict of this episode is Zach thinks everyone forgot his birthday, and that leads to him wandering in the desert.
Well,
And I
he
mean,
went to the
everyone,
mountain. He went to the
like
mountain.
everyone was a dick. Like especially Kimberly, saying right in front of his face that like, oh, someone really important to me has a birthday, and he's like, oh yeah, who is that? Oh, I can't tell you who they are, but I really need to go and tell her that I appreciate her birthday. And she's like, and he's like, oh, I'm pretty sure she'll. Wait, did you say she?
Yeah, her
She's
poodle.
like, yeah, her poodle has a birthday, and he's instead of saying happy birthday to one of her 4 best friends, she's like, "Fuck you, my dog's birthday is today."
And then they all go to class, but Zach just skips school and just goes to the mountains.
And just goes to the desert.
Yeah.
I never put that together. They're supposed to be like the good, like prep school kids that always do the right thing, but Zach just skips unless, like, I think he did say he had like a free period.
He didn't say he had a free period. He was going to
I don't
class,
think
but
he. I don't know if he did, or it could have been like after school. I guess.
Yeah, it was just a weird cut.
Yeah.
And then we get the first morph I ever saw for Mighty Morphin as soon as we get the appearance of the Nasty Knight and he starts to fight Zack. And I don't know if I have given my opinion on the morphing sequence of the original series, but it's iconic. But I will say, going backwards from when I first started with Dino Thunder, with that being my very first Power Ranger season, it just like
kind of jarring to see how normal it is then.
Exactly. But I can't deny, even with that time and age gap of missing out on, I want to say, 15 seasons of Power Rangers beforehand,
It was definitely a lot of
kicks ass.
Yeah, it does, but I do have a hang up about it. It's like it's something only I would notice, but genuinely, it does kind of throw me off that when they're in the morphing sequence and you're seeing them in like the fucking morpher, all they like you can't see their chest. It's literally just their arms and their head.
I always
And
thought that their shirt just blended into the background.
It definitely is they all wore like a green shirt or something and like bled into the green or blue screen or whatever, but like, dude, come on, you look like Rayman.
So in this fight, what I found was cool is the Nasty Knight could actually stand up to the Rangers, particularly with like sending their energy back at them, and that fried their weapons.
Yes, it did, and it was actually a pretty good fight scene, honestly. Like I know it's Sentai footage mostly, but like it is a pretty good fight scene.
Yeah, when they do
in later episodes,
when they do footage right, it does blend in together really well.
And in this fight, we get Zordon and Alpha, which I gotta say, first impressions on Alpha Alpha was cool. I always thought when I was a kid, and I know some people found him annoying, like adults found him annoying. I never really did. I liked Alpha.
I liked Alpha too.
Yeah,
like the early episodes of Alpha. He's kind of cringe, but they got away from that, and he became the Alpha we all loved.
Yeah, it's just like in my eyes, I found it criminal that Bulk and Skull never kind of sort of found out where the Rangers were, because I would have loved Bulk and Skull and Alpha as a trio.
They kind of did, but I ain't saying it.
Well, I mean, like as a regular actual trio, though, because I feel like the comedic gold with like imagine if like Bulk and Skull, they basically worked as like crowd control for the Rangers.
That's what everyone was saying. Even Link Hara said that. Like, imagine if Bulk and Skull were part of the team for crowd control. Like, hey, look over here.
I will say in the comics, I want to tell this to Adam. Bulk and Skull actually were turned into Rangers in the comics. No. The purple and orange Rangers, but they turned Bulk into a pig.
Damn.
Of course they did.
But here's the funny thing: they turned Skull into like a fucking ostrich with like a giant ass nose.
They should have turned him into a hyena. It would have been perfect.
Yes,
that's what I was thinking.
Hyena
That's
Skull.
Literally what I was thinking. Why wasn't it a hyena? like, why even a pig? You should have made it like a boar or, oh, I don't know, a ram.
Yeah.
Too.
Because that is the animal he gets in Hyperforce.
We'll get to
Oh
Hyperforce
yeah.
eventually.
Yeah. Fair.
But then
yeah,
we
so-
get the morph, we get the fight, and then I want to comment about the because we do get the oh yeah, they fight and then Rita just turns the Knight big for no reason.
Yeah,
Mhm.
he was doing
And-
well. He was doing well.
And also, I didn't know magic staff make my monster grow as a thing because she literally just said, "Take that, wise guy," and throws her staff.
Yeah. So what the fuck?
Yeah,
But-
like I said, they're like mixing it up at these episodes, trying to get their groove, trying to figure out what to do.
In my personal opinion, I think that this Zord sequence, the forming of the Megazord, is my favorite of the different editing versions of it because it is the longest, but I find that it was the right sequence of events for me.
Mm-hmm.
It tickles it tickles the autistic side of me.
It tickles your sneezer.
Oh, fuck's sake! God,
Yes.
I'm gonna see him in my nightmares. God damn it! Put the doll back up.
But we get the Megazord fight where the Power Sword actually doesn't even completely do the job right away, which it's usually the immediate win.
Yeah.
Yes, that's usually the formula.
But then Zach actually, which also wraps around it being sort of his story, he comes up with the way to defeat the monster, and it gets this really funny editing this really funny they do this really funny editing choice where the Megazord is on the ground and he immediately just like Megans his way back up without even using his hands.
Reverse the footage.
Yeah, he just like I guess in kayfabe he kips up, but they really do just reverse the footage.
Yeah, they do that a lot.
I love
in the
it
show.
so much.
Like reverse the footage.
And then we get Rita, in fact, after the nasty night goes down, we get a like, "I'll come back, I'll get you next time, get it" sort of moment.
I was wondering why you were doing
like,
Dr. Claw.
And then we get, yeah, it was not a good Dr. Claw. And then we get just unfortunately a lack of I have a headache. Oh, by the way, because the last episode or the episode before that, we're at 5 now. And
yeah, we're at 5 headaches.
And then, of course, we get the big birthday celebration, and we get a really 90s happy birthday song, which I want to find out who did that song.
Happy birthday, Zach.
Yeah, it was very cringe, but also.
Are you kidding? That's going to be playing at every single birthday party of mine now.
I mean, I'm glad you liked it.
I unironically think I love that song. And the editing choice of Zach doing his like dancing, and then it cuts to Billy with the Keiko-matic struggling in the background.
And now it's spitting out pink foam instead of blue foam.
And we don't get the usual end of episode stingers, so all I'll say is,
what'd you say? You kind of cut out there.
I love that it cut out when he went to sing it.
What you cut it? It cut out, man.
Happy birthday.
Oh,
baby. And that's it. That's it for this episode block. So,
but well, I'll do it anyway. Dun, 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 and then the cops come in and shut down the party because of noise violation.
Yeah. So let's go through our thoughts of this 6-episode block. Who is gonna go first?
Adam, sure, go first since you're like brand new.
Yeah, I'll go first since I'm the new guy. These were the first 6 episodes of Mighty Morphin I had ever watched, and I'm gonna be real. I definitely started off kind of meh on it. Like the first 2 or 3 episodes were like, I mean, I can see the appeal, and it's kind of nah. But we get to those last 3, and specifically, Eye Guy and Tickle Sneezer were 2 of my favorite episodes of anything related to Sentai. that I've seen in a while. And I know that's saying a lot, but like it's a completely different beast from Sentai, and I get that. But it's definitely it's very fun, and the Tickle Sneezer episode specifically is my favorite episode so far. That episode alone was the reason I wanted to get into this podcast. So
Was Tickle Sneezer.
it was Tickle Sneezer.
It was Tickle Sneezer all along.
Tickle Sneezer turned me into a Power Rangers fan. Congratulations.
God damn it, we did it. But ladies and gentlemen, we got him.
We got him.
Yeah.
Clap, 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 clap.
Overall, I'll go through each episode. Episode 5 was a decent introduction. I liked the moral, and I liked the whole deaf girl arc, and that was pretty cool. Episode 6 was that was before Big Sisters. That was
food fight.
That was food fight. Very good episode. Pudgy Pig is a iconic monster of the week, and it was very fun. The principal is a fucking creepazoid, and I hate him. But overall, the episode was very good. Big Sisters was definitely the weakest episode of the 6 for me. It wasn't bad. It just there was nothing there that I really enjoyed except for the whole Morphing Masters thing and hearing you guys like bust a nut to the realization.
Yeah.
Yeah. I Guy was a very good episode. It was the second strongest of the batch, even though I kind of hated I Guy's I every 5 seconds by the end of it. I really enjoyed it. Tickle Sneezer was my favorite episode of the block. It had cliches, but it also had like really fun things to do with those cliches. The only thing I can say was like a real knock to the entire thing was it was all a dream cliche, because I fucking hate that cliche.
It's so stupid.
Yes,
it's such a stupid cliche. It's like the coma theory. I fucking hate it. But besides that, it was a really good episode, really solid stuff, and Tickle Sneezer is fun, except for the doll. But very, very good episode. Happy Birthday, Zach was, I'm gonna say it, Malcolm, don't hate me, it was a step down from Tickle Sneezer, but it was very fun. It was a cool thing. Everyone was a dick to Zach, which is unfortunate, but it was very fun. So overall, really good.
I feel like you gotta justify it with like the birthday thing. It's like they even say it. It's like he's upset now, but when his birthday, but when he sees the party, he's gonna freak.
Yeah, I totally get it. It's just I don't know. I'm just kind of used to people being dicks, so maybe that's part of it. But no, genuinely, these were good. These were a really good 6 episodes, and I'm totally psyched to continue doing this with you guys. On to the next one. Let's go with Andreas next. What are your thoughts?
Sorry, wait, hold on. Let's go with Dwight next.
Oh, you want to be last? Why can't Malcolm be last?
I don't know. Tickle Sneezer.
Go for it, Andreas.
Okay, so yeah, it's always great to see these episodes again, because like, no matter how many times I rewatch this stuff, it's always great. But I haven't rewatched the episodes in so long, because like I said, like the Morphing Masters thing got me. But like I say, that's all I can say is that it's always great to watch these episodes, and the next episode is my the one that creeps me out the most, because it's got clowns in it.
The next episode is clowns.
Yeah.
Christ. This is a really good episode block. At first, I thought it was going to be very filler heavy, but like the last 3 or 4 episodes were like, for some reason, so important to this bloody show. Like, I had no idea how big the first 10 episodes technically were for the show. You had Eye Guy, Tickle Sneezer, Pudgy Pig. I don't think the Nasty Knight was that big, but he is to me, damn it.
Well,
he's Nasty Knight is very cool.
Nasty Knight is one of those iconic villains. They don't talk about him much, but he's one of the iconic villains, yeah.
Because he should be, man. He's fucking awesome. It's like, why couldn't he come back and not Pudgy Pig?
Yeah.
We'll get to that when we get to that.
Yes.
I gotta say, I'm so happy I got to watch Happy Birthday, Zach, with you guys. Out of all the episodes we've watched, this is the one I was legit most excited for, even more than Green with Evil, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, because you were like going on about it. Happy birthday, Zach. We got to get to Happy Birthday, Zach.
It's because to me, Happy Birthday, Zach doesn't represent my like love for Mighty Morphin. It represents my love for Power Rangers as a whole.
Very true.
It's like it's like you never forget your first, your beginning, and
Right. That's why
with me, the first 3 seasons of Power Rangers I remember Mighty Morphin, Dino Thunder, and SPD.
Very true. And like you said, like you never forget your first. That's why season 1 will always be number 1 in my heart.
And you know what? A toast to Adam, an official new Power Rangers fan.
Yeah,
We welcome you. We apologize. And we welcome you again. And we apologize again.
And may the power protect you.
May the power protect you, my friend.
Thank you very much. Yeah, no, that's going to be fun. And I can't wait to keep doing this.
All right, so with that, we end the podcast for today. Until the next time, we'll get to the next 6 episodes, and we're gonna stop for the 6th episode because after that, it's what y'all been waiting for. Because you know what's coming up.
Evil arc.
The Green was Evil mini arc, but we got to get through the next 6 episodes to do that. Anyways, that's it for the podcast. I'm Humanoid, and the rest of these people
May the
here.
Power protect you.
I've been Dead Troop, and this is my opinion. Also, don't forget that the Yellow Ranger is named Boy.
And he's a boy in the Sentai.
And I am the Doi. I speak for the trees, and for some unknown goddamn reason, I speak Vietnamese. And ladies and gentlemen, may the power protect you.
God damn it, Doi.